Shortly, our very good friend, Mr. Victor Aggrey Fynn, whose AGM operations Milife Insurance Company, will tell us all about it here on your superstation.
Drive time on Joy with Lexus Bill.
You said you wanted a throwback, eh? Well, there you have it. Sibo Brothers. Goodness. Oh man, love it to bits. I've got more for you here on Joy 99.7 FM. But let's get talking about insurance. And I mentioned earlier, Drive Time Business Insurance is proudly brought to you by the Ghana Insurance Association. Today, we get to understand how insurance claims are arrived at. And to help us understand it better is the AGM operations of Milife Insurance Company Limited, Mr. Victor Aggrey Fynn, the Abramovich of the Milife team is here. Welcome, Mr. Aggrey Fynn. How are you?
I'm good. Thank
nice.
you.
Really good to see you again.
Yes.
So what did your team do on that day?
Sally, we wanted to do ice hockey and things, so and there was no VAR in the football.
So you didn't win any medal?
No, we competed.
So I remember the way you were firing here. Oh, okay. Next year. We'll see how it goes next year. Yeah. Okay. So today we're talking about insurance claims. Not long ago, we got to understand what premiums are, and we know that we're supposed to pay premiums, but then there comes a time where you have to make a claim. So share with us what the insurance claim is for starters, and how you arrive at a claim. What determines how much you're going to pay somebody and whatnot.
Okay, thank you, Lexus, and let me say good afternoon to your discerning listeners. Life insurance in Ghana, we have a substantial challenge facing our industry, and it's as a result of the lack of understanding and the knowledge, of the purpose and benefits of life insurance. And you see this more in the low income bracket and the informal sector, where they are more vulnerable to these risks. And the structures that we employ, the social insurance and the informal risk sharing arrangements are not enough, and these are some of the things that are impinging on or impeding our insurance penetration. So we say kudos to GIA for putting this education thing together, and commend all the other groupings, Insurance Awareness Coordinators Group, the NIC, GIZ, all those who are helping us to educate the public about the benefits of insurance. So you said claims. The claim itself is the formal request that a person makes to the insurance company.
Okay.
And this person we call a claimant. The claimant can be the person who bought the policy, who we call the policy holder, or the beneficiary. It can even be a third party who is not the policy holder, or either the policy holder or the beneficiary. You can make that request. Once you make that request, the insurance company will acknowledge that we have received your request. And per NIC guidelines, we have to do this in 2 days, maximum 2 days. So we do this, and we have to determine whether we are liable, whether we have to pay you a claim based on, the contract that we have. Life insurance is a contract between you, the insured, and the insurance company.
Okay.
That you pay, regular premiums. It could be monthly, annual, semi-annual. You pay this amount of money, and then you say that if an event, a risk event happens in future, please pay me a lump sum to this person or this entity.
Okay.
So we will do that check and validate, confirm, do our checks, and then pay you the benefit when the claim falls. And I should add that so the claim itself is the request, but we would acknowledge, we will validate, we will settle and notify. If we are not liable, i.e., if the claim is not valid, and we have to reject or repudiate, we will write to you, giving you reasons why we are doing that.
Okay.
And there are types of risk that usually for life insurance you will cover for you to put in a request. The main one is the death claim.
Okay.
Then we have disability claims. It could be total and permanent disability, it could be temporary, it could be partial. There's also critical illness, and there's maturity. When you have an investment linked policy where you do some savings attached to the insurance, you can come for the matured amount at a future date.
Okay.
There are also some payouts that we do. Typically, we won't say it's an insurance claim, but there are payouts like when we say after a year you can pick 5% cashback of your premiums that you've paid if you haven't put in a claim.
Yeah.
There is also the surrender where you say, okay, I cannot continue, so I want to terminate my policy and take the proceeds.
Yeah.
So these are the different.
You talked about validation. What goes into validation?
Okay, so the person who is asking for the claim or making the request or notifying the company, we need to know who you are, an ID. We need an ID, and we do a check and see that you are the one, and we can trace you.
Yeah.
And then we check whether you are a beneficiary or not. And so those are the.
And that also includes whether the event is also a real event, isn't it?
Yes. So checking includes the event. So when we have done all our KYC on the person, we would also go and use our networks to check whether it's a valid claim.
So, for example, if it's a life or death thingy, you'd have to check whether the person is indeed dead.
Yes.
And if it's an accident or something of the sort, and there's some disability, you'd have to ascertain the level of disability. Yes. You do that with hospitals and police.
Excellent. For death, we will use the death certificate.
Okay.
There's hospital report on the cause of death, which should be signed by a medical doctor stating the cause of death with details and everything that we can go and check. If it's through an accident, we will need a police report. And for disability claims, we will need a doctor writing that you suffered this disability and we should pay you X amount of money, or the degree of injury, which will base the claim payment on. However, let me add that these requirements, you and I know in our part of the world, there are people who suffer some of these things, especially death, and there is no trace of any medical report, or they haven't done any certificate. So what we'll do is then we bring in the investigation, where sometimes we send people into the community. We actually, if we can't, submit any of these documents, you can give us a letter from a recognized institution or a person like the assemblyman, the pastor, the imam. These people can write stating that they confirm that this person has died, and then we will go into the community and do our investigation, and based on that we pay.
Oh wow. Yes. So it doesn't mean that if there's no death certificate you would not pay at all.
No. We will do. There are alternative ways of confirming, and it's a society. There are communities, and these people live in communities. So it's for you to quickly trigger your investigation team and get the findings. Then you pay based on that. And at My Life, I should add that we pride ourselves with doing all this within 48 hours.
Wow.
And unless we need to do some deep investigation on a suspected document, then that can go to up to 5 days. But within 48 hours, and note, the request can be done for a claim from your phone in the house. You just log on to our website, www.milifeghana.com, click and put in your request, and you get a claim number, which you can use to track the claim.
Okay.
And
wow, that's simple.
Quick and simple.
So how can I tell how much exactly I am entitled to in the event of making a claim or an insured risk?
Okay. So for life insurance, we usually say the benefit is a sum assured. So to a large extent, for life insurance policies, you know the benefit that you will get if the event happens. There are certain situations that plus or minus. For example, if you took a policy and you said you wanted 50,000 life cover and you add an inflation adjuster, so that means that every year the premium goes up, the benefit also goes up. But you will know that if death occurs, this is what my family is entitled to. If it's 50,000, that's what they will get. So it's nothing, hidden.
It's not shrouded in secrecy.
No, it's very open, and you know ahead.
Okay.
Maybe I'll say in cases where there is a percentage of injury for disability claims, then the doctor will determine the percentage of injury, the level of injury, and say maybe you are 20% incapacitated. So based on that, we work the computation.
Okay.
But ahead of time, you know what your benefits are.
So it's my understanding that some people can deliberately cause a claim to happen and then they approach their insurers to make claims. So how can an insurer tell a genuine claim from a fraudulent one?
Okay. So
I know you mentioned your investigative team, but
yes.
Is that all that you do?
Yes. So largely from the networks that we have. Ideally, if nationally we had a database where from the back office I can just log in and check whether somebody has died in Sandema Hospital and has been recorded. That would have been the wishful. But as without that structure, what we do is we have our teams across the country. We have branches all over, and we ride on these investigation teams to go into the hospitals. The hospitals, the mortuary. And then sometimes we employ CIDs who help us to get this job fast.
Okay.
And then, we determine whether this is... Usually, it is when the document, is a suspected, fraudulent, then you go into the investigation. Usually we have experts, so they look at the document, they know this is genuine. Yeah. And we can validate quickly from births and death or from the hospital, and quickly we pay the claim.
I know you said this in relation to MyLife, how it's a sum assured. So even the insurer would know that this is what I'll be getting should the event happen. Is it the same across board for all the insurance?
Yes, for life insurance it's pretty much the same. So before you sign up onto the policy, you would have said how much benefit you want the beneficiary to get.
Okay.
So if you said 20,000, that is the sum assured.
Okay.
I mean, bearing any adjustment for inflation, that is the money that will be paid to the beneficiary. So you would know, ahead.
Kofi Okwampa is listening from Adabraka and wanted to know what it means when a claim becomes statute barred. And I think I've met it somewhere where it refers to Kofi. I won't give this one to Mr. What do you call it? I'll tell you about it. It's actually when it's no longer legally enforceable owing to a prescribed period of limitation having lapsed. So when I start my insurance insurance job, you can consult me.
Yeah, for life insurance, we encourage policyholders to report it quickly.
Yeah,
because tracing evidence. I mean, as time lapses, after 10 years, when you come and say your father died in Tumu and I have to go and investigate, it's more difficult. Yeah. So we encourage for life insurance people to report it.
As in when it happens.
Usually no timelines for
Mr. Aggrey Fynn, thank you so much. You've actually explained it very well for us. But if you can tell us a bit about Milife Insurance Company Limited before you go.
Okay, so Milife, our mission is to make life insurance simple, affordable, accessible, and we want to provide a very smooth path to our customers towards their dreams.
Okay.
So we are making things simple. Let me just mention three products quickly that we have at MyLife that I would encourage people to sign up to. Now, I say that if you know that someone will suffer financially if you pass on, then please take a life insurance policy today. The era where we say our grandfather said, okay, we have brought up 10 kids. If I die and go, it's the family's responsibility. It's gone. So it currently, household incomes are from the wife and the husband. And if one person is not there, somebody will suffer financially.
Okay.
So you need to make the call now. If you need any help, just call 024-243-9999. This is our line, and just engage us. Let me mention the 3 products that I wanted to put out there. The first one we call My Legacy. My Legacy it protects your family against life unforeseen circumstances. So this policy has a standard and a comprehensive. Standard will give you the death. Comprehensive will give you added with critical illness, and you would have your life covered. I mean, even after 60, and you stop paying premiums at 60. And then quickly, because we don't have time, we also have a policy that we've made for informal sector in the micro insurance, for low income sector. This is a partnership with MTN. It's called My Way.
Okay.
And it's simple. You do it on your phone. You get your benefits on your phone through mobile money. You do not walk to sign any form. USSD, you dial. So if anybody is interested, please call 024-243-9999 or visit our website and get more details.
Milife Insurance Company Limited, and I've been speaking with AGM Operations, Mr. Victor Aggrey Fynn. Thank you so much, Abramovich.
Thank you, Lexus,
for coming by to share with us a little bit about insurance claims. I'm so grateful.
Thank you.
And regards to the team at My Life as well. Stay tuned in. Yes, and the drive time with the insurance.